School Board and the Washington County Health Department to make today's ceremony possible. I would like to thank all of you for following the guidelines that have been put in place and each of you to keep us safe as a community. The class of 2020 has been resilient, patient, and passionate in completing their high school career with an in-person ceremony. Today is an accumulation of 13 years of the greatest times of their lives. Today is shutting one door and opening a door to a career, furthering your education, or preparing to fulfill your dreams that you have yet to be determined. I know the class of 2020 will be successful community members and willing to give us back. Every member of the class of 2020 that was enrolled in school in March will earn a diploma today. Congratulations. This morning, I'd like to recognize some of our honored guests and special seniors of the class of 2020. I'd like to introduce the Central Office Administrative Team. Please hold your applause until the last name is read. John Acton, Superintendent, please stand. Brent Mitten, Director of Assessment and Program Improvement. I'd also like to introduce the school board. Rodney Bruff, President. Ron Henniges, Vice President. Mark Abbott, Secretary. Dustin Davidson. Erica Garlow. Richard Trueblood. And Rebecca White. Please give them a round of applause. I would like to introduce, you may be seated. I'd like to introduce our high school office team and senior sponsor as they put a lot of time and effort to make this happen. Jerry Hickey, Assistant Principal. Kevin Albertson, Assistant Principal and New Salem Middle School Principal. Jennifer Martin, Senior Counselor. Chris McHurin, Counselor. Caitlin Ellis, Counselor. Mark Carter, Senior Sponsor. Please give them a round of applause. I would like the senior members of the 2019 Scholastic D State Champion Marching Lions to please stand at this time and be recognized. Thank you. The senior gold medal winners of the ISMA Band and Vocal State Competition, please rise and be recognized at this time. Thank you. The senior members of the Science Olympiad team that qualified for state in the regional competition but was denied participation at the state level because of COVID-19 pandemic and the cancellation of the competition at Purdue. Please stand. Would Coach Hickey and the senior members of the 2020 ISHAA 3A Girls State Champion runner-up team please stand to be recognized. Thank you. On May 1st, Salem High School had 3 outstanding teachers that decided to retire. I would like to honor each individually for their great contribution to our students and the community of Salem. Greg McCurdy, science teacher. Jeannie Page, social studies teacher. William Spencer Pierce, vocal music teacher. I'd like to thank them for all the lives that they have touched and influenced over the years at Salem High School. Thanks for the many memories. On May 8th, Salem High School had a virtual Honors Day presentation. Students were recognized for the scholarships that equaled approximately $200,000. Would all scholarship winners and 21st Century Scholarship winners please rise and be honored? Thank you. We had a special honor. Would Cora Saunders please stand, as she was the 2020 Lilly Scholar for Washington County. Congratulations on this great accomplishment. On May 16th, Salem High School hosted a Military Day celebration with our county schools in Paoli at the Washington County Courthouse. Would the students that are enrolling in the military from the class of 2020 please stand and be recognized at this time? In closing, the class of 2020 has weathered a pandemic storm. Each of you should be considered a survivor. I'm proud of each and every one of you as a graduate. Thank you for making a difference in our school and community. Each of you now must prepare to win. David Visquat, quote, "If your life is going to get better, you will have to take risk. There's simply no way you can grow without taking a chance. Set your sights high, and good luck to the class of 2020.
Class of 2020, we'd like to say how proud we are, and it would be my honor to take one last selfie with you. Let's do one last picture to make sure. Thank you.
It's hard to follow Becky in her pictures. She just loves pictures. I'm sorry about that. I'll apologize for it. I was asked to speak today, but I'm not going to say a whole lot, so you can go ahead and applaud now. Thank you. The only thing I want to say is this has been a tough year for everybody, especially this group of kids. I feel like they have really persevered, overcome the COVID, and it's something that we're all going to have to deal with probably going forward. I just ask all of you to be patient with the school system. We're doing everything we can. Our people are working tirelessly to find ways to move forward, so just please bear with us. We're here for your kids. That's what it's all about, and that's why we're here today. I do want all the seniors to stand and I want all their parents to stand, and I want the seniors, give your parents a round of applause. Thank you. Without you parents and your support, it'd be hard for these kids to get to where they're at today. And today's their day. We want to celebrate that, and we are just so thankful for the class of 2020. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. I would like to start out by thanking our superintendent, Mr. Acton, our principal, Mr. Albert, Mr. Hickey, Mr. Albertson, and all the members of the school board, and the teachers and staff at Salem High School, and especially our parents and guardians. Without you guys making these opportunities available for us, where would we be? Thank you for giving us many memories and such a great life at Salem High School. Now, what we've all been waiting for, welcome to our class, the class of 2020. This class has put in years and hours of hard work and effort. We have been blessed to grow up with one another for so long. Now, not one of us could have imagined we would end our high school career under such unprecedented circumstances. Each one of us has our own talent and dedication to our future. We will persevere and succeed. The class of 2020 are no strangers to a world-changing event. We were the class born during 9/11. During that time, the world stood still. 18 years later, we're in a similar situation where life as we know has changed dramatically and quickly. And that's what makes us so extraordinary. Now, what does extraordinary mean? To us, it explains when our middle school got flooded out. Then, when our school was represented during our 10-year here at Salem High School at state levels in multiple clubs and sports. And finally, our senior year during a world pandemic, which has put us through a dramatic situation and brought our class even closer than ever. Now we can embrace that experience in our memory as part of our history at Salem High School. Over the years, our class started to become a family, where we witnessed each other's laughs. The last football game, the last time the band played the school song that we just started to learn the moves to, and all the times we attended festival on the field and took the L on tug of war every single year. These past 4 years have given us many memories that we will forever cherish. But there is a time that comes for all of us to leave and be welcomed into the world. Well, we will for sure and go off and do extraordinary things. This year's extraordinary. Just think about it. Some students in these seats will be leaving home to fight for our country and leave it all on the line, while others of us will be entering the workforce and setting out making our own way. And for others, we will be continuing our education. Regardless of which path we choose, one thing's for certain is that our lives will be changed after today. So my advice for you is to cherish all these crazy, unexpected moments in life. We are the class with the technology that can put us anywhere. We can have future scientists, lawyers, chefs, and presidents sitting with us today. We will move on to big cities, different states, travel to the unknown, or stay right here in Washington County and make it a better place. I promise to all the parents, we will be just fine. You have prepared us well. Some might think with these turning of events that our class isn't very lucky, but in the end, we are. We are far from the usual. We have made history not once, but multiple times within our years. We have been faced with a challenge no seniors in history have ever had to face, a global pandemic. Yet, here we are, completing what we set out to do 12 years ago, graduating as the class of 2020. So to the class that has been labeled extraordinary, let's go out into the world and live it to our name.
On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to thank all who have devoted themselves to guiding our class so that we have the opportunity to gather here today to celebrate our graduation and to commence a new journey beyond the walls of Salem Community Schools. Mr. Acton, Mr. Albert, Mr. Albertson, Mr. Hickey, our counselors, teachers, and staff have all played a role in each and every one of us being here today. Their guidance and dedication to our futures will forever be appreciated. We, of course, must not overlook the unending support and love our family and friends have given us throughout our trek from kindergartners learning our ABCs to seniors in high school exploring adulthood. Without these individuals, the class of 2020 would not be the young adults we are today. To all mentioned, the class of 2020 would like to extend to you a genuine thank you for all that you have done. Military boot camp is perhaps one of the most grueling physical, mental, and emotional training camps around. One Marine describes his experience with boot camp as, quote, "That kid is broken down to that of a whimpering boy, then rebuilt into what the Marine Corps wants in its warriors," end of quote. After weeks of training, individuals who went into camp as boys and girls emerge as men and women. Those individuals are now prepared, strong, and able to persevere through any obstacle that may appear. Like boot camp, we entered our freshman year as boys and girls. Slowly but surely, we were trained and guided by our parents and SHS staff to challenge ourselves, and most importantly, to grow. Time management was established as we juggled jobs, sports, homework, clubs, or maybe all of the above. In order to be successful at any of these, one must learn the simple yet highly important art of preparation. Preparation could look like knowing the game plan beforehand, washing your work outfit, or bringing your calculator, pencil, and a charged Chromebook to class. Perseverance was exposed as we did not understand an assignment on the first, second, maybe even third try, but our teachers, like drill sergeants, kept pushing us because they knew we could persevere, meaning we could overcome that obstacle. despite delay, in order to achieve optimal success. We learn to be strong through difficult times, whether it be a death, a broken relationship, a personal obstacle, a difficult class. The list could go on and on. However, we didn't give in to our troubles. We looked them in the eye and pushed forward. After our training and education at SHS, we will graduate from Salem High School as men and women who are now ready for what the world may present to us. While our journey through high school is not anywhere near the intense experience soldiers face in boot camp, I think we can all agree we have faced many obstacles and have come out stronger on the other side. One situation that we can all closely relate to is having the last 9 weeks, what is supposed to be the most enjoyable time of our senior year, taken away by COVID-19. Despite this, the class of 2020 persevered and made the best out of this unideal situation. Like a young man or woman in boot camp, when presented with a daunting obstacle, we didn't back down. For backing down would only hurt us in the future when presented with a similar or even more difficult hardship. We learned to adapt, whether this was sitting in separate cars in parking lots chatting, having the traditional senior drive, or video chatting classmates to figure out a tough question on a Google Classroom assignment. While our 4 years here at SHS have flown by, I believe every senior here can agree they have grown during their time here, academically and personally. Our time here has been brief, but the knowledge and life skills we obtained will remain forever. We entered this high school, our high school, as boys and girls. Today, we will walk across the stage to receive our diploma as men and women. We are now ready, prepared, and equipped to take on the world in each and every one of our individual journeys. Class of 2020, here's to the next chapter.
It's kind of hot out here. All right. On behalf of my fellow classmates, I'd like to thank everyone in our lives who got us to where we are today. Thank you to our new superintendent, Mr. John Acton, and the school board for constantly striving to do what is best for our school and school community. I'd also like to thank Mr. Albert, Mr. Albertson, Mr. Hickey, school staff, and faculty for guiding us along the way to where we are now. We know we're a handful, so please accept our most sincere thanks. Finally, I'd like to thank our parents, guardians, and all parent figures in our lives. We would not be here without you. Thank you to all of you for believing in us, as well as supporting us. You are all so important and appreciated. I'll start off with this. What is a community? Well, according to Google search, not only is it a comedy TV show, but the word community is defined as a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. So, if you apply it to our situation, a community could be Washington County, or more specifically, Salem schools. But what makes a community a community? A community supports each other. A community shares ideas and goals to better the group that they belong to. But most importantly, a community cares for each other. During the past months handling the pandemic, what we needed most was a supportive community. And this need for support has highlighted the best in our people, our city, and our schools. It has brought out the best in us, and this change in our education plan has created a bond between us that has never been shared before. Which is why I bring this up. What is so special about our class is that this closeness, This bond has always been here between us. When we go through something tough, we are here to support each other. Whoops. No matter what, if that something is small or large, we can always count on each other to be a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen. We know how to make an environment that is welcoming for each other, whether it's crazy large events like girls' basketball or Bohemian Supper Club, or maybe smaller occasions like club Christmas parties or simply being in class. We know how to make experiences inviting for all. In other words, we are excellent in creating a home away from home. These qualities that we have developed over the years are skills that we can apply wherever we go. Consequently, when we go out into the world, we will be able to create the same kind of community we have always known how to make. We can make a home to those who feel like they don't have one. We know how to be a friend to those who are lonely. We know how to encourage people when the unexpected arrives. For example, how to tackle the concept of e-learning. And we know how to make the best out of any situation, like organizing a senior drive to cheer each other up. So carrying with you always the traits that make you so unique, the traits that you have learned here in Salem schools, but will blossom within the years to come. Doing so, there will always be fellowship and companionship wherever you may be. It'd be wrong to wish upon us that everything happens exactly the way we plan them to go. Because, as we have learned, that's simply just not realistic. So let's hope for this, that no matter what happens in our lives, that we continue to make the most of what we are given and find the good out of it, just like we always have. Life may not be what we expect for it to be, but life will always be something strange and unique. Embody this definition of community that we have shared with each other. And look forward for what is yet to come. We may not always be together from this point on, but our bond will never let us stray too far. From then on, class of 2020.
First off, I would like to thank Mr. Acton, our superintendent, for all the decisions he has had to make for us this year. Thank you to the members of our school board for keeping our school corporation strong in such a trying time. And to all the teachers, custodians, cafeteria staff, bus drivers, secretaries, and all the countless others it takes to keep this school running. We really could not have done it without you. You became so much more than educators to us. You became someone to talk to and trust, someone we knew would always be there, and someone who never stopped believing in us. So thank you, SHA staff, for all you've done for the class of 2020. Last but not least, we would like to thank the ones we go home to at night. The ones who have encouraged us, reassured us, and let us know that in the end, it would all be okay. Gilda Radner once said, "I wanted a perfect ending. Now I've learned the hard way that some poems don't rhyme and some stories don't have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Life is about not knowing, having to change, taking the moment and making the best of it without knowing what is going to happen next." I feel like this quote perfectly sums up the class of 2020's senior year. On March 13th, we walked out of Salem High School and finished our last day as seniors without even knowing it. We took these next few weeks, day by day, wondering what would happen next. Would we get the perfect senior year ending that had been in the works for 13 years? It seems someone had hit the pause button on our senior year, and no one knew if or when we would be able to hit play again. In spite of everything the class of 2020 did not get to do, we took the things that we did and made the best of them. One last ride to wave to the teachers we never got to say goodbye to, and a senior class parade that the whole town showed out for. It has been a long 4 years and a short 4 years. Long because Coach Hartsfield's agility days never seemed to end. We never won a festival on the field, and remote learning seemed to drag on for days. Short because Friday night football didn't last long enough. We didn't get to see Mr. Carter act out nearly enough plays, and I think we can all agree the class of 2020 pulled off the greatest senior prank. Good or bad, long or short, we will always remember this place. A place that pushed us to be better individuals, a place that helped prepare future soldiers, nurses, teachers, police officers, and so many other career paths some of us will take. Even though this isn't the ending we expected, we have made the best of it and taken the moment, and as we look back over this journey, our parents were right, it went fast. So I hope that each one of you cherish these precious moments we have spent together, because no matter how much you want to, you can't come back to high school. There's a universal truth we all have to face, whether we want to or not. Everything eventually ends, but we should not look at this as an ending, but more of a beginning to a new adventure. As much as I've looked forward to this day, I've always disliked endings. Last day of summer, the final chapter of a good book, and parting ways with a close friend. But endings are inevitable. Leaves fall, you close the book, you say goodbye. Today is one of those days for us. But as Winnie the Pooh once said, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard.
Before we continue, I'd like to recognize 4 members of the class of 2020 who have already started serving their country in the armed forces and are currently in basic training. Accepting the diploma for Tristan Karen are his parents, Mark and Cindy Karen. Accepting the diploma for Tyler Martin is his father, Tim Martin. Accepting the diploma for Elijah Humphrey are his father, Tom McQuitty, and grandfather Joe Humphrey. And finally, we would also like to recognize Andrew Muchler, who is already serving his country. And now what you've all been waiting for, it is my privilege and great honor to present to you Salem High School's graduating class of 2020. Samantha Gail Albertson. Marissa Kaylin Collins. Shane Alexander Mahurin. Delaney Aaron Baker. Justice Aaliyah Brown. Kylie Nicole Brown. Brandon Dean Carroll. Sierra Corinne Cole. Megan Elizabeth Gregerson. Malia Joanne Harden. Kalijah James Hessig. Myron Anthony Mead. Leah Gail Miller. Colette Marie Nice. Amelia Ray Pellman. Cora Lynn Saunders. Lauren Brooke Stevenson. Hope Elizabeth Tomlinson. Lydia Grace Bontrager. Kayla Ann Cobble. Olivia K. Faber. Rachel Scanlon Fisher. Emery Walden Fisher. Caden James Hebard. Zachary Ryan Larimore. Nathaniel Lee Llewellyn Falk. Carissa Marie McCoskey. Sydney Nicole Rogers. Cheyenne Scott Sanders. Shireen Dawn Sanders. Brianne Sky Williams. Adeline Rose Chasteen. Kennedy Elizabeth Bruff. Carly Grace Henry. Brooklyn Chanel Albertson. Avery Wayne Alexander. Bronson Nathaniel Allen. Summer Dawn Nicole Allen. Tavian Alexis Altick. Logan Chase Anderson. Charles Wade Barnett. Lisa Nicole Batchelor. Kyrie Ann Benham. Zachary Stephen Boland. Sierra Bay Bowling. Tyler Matthew Bowman. Brittany Renee Bruce. Carly Lynn Bias. Alexis Jade Bizzoni. Daisy Lou Campbell. Colleen Abigail Carey. Saria Lynn Chasteen. Ethan Wyatt Asher Collins. Afton Renee Combs. Parker Alexander Cook. Brandon Scott Corbin. John Eric Chase Cornelius. Drake Lee Cornett. Cody Joe Lee Cravens. Keely Lakin Davidson. Carl Isaiah Dean. Madison Joe Ewing. Braden Matthew Fields. Stephen Wesley Fleece. Gavin Wayne Fleming. Isabel Nevaeh Foster. Taylor Sue Foster. Brianna Nicole Garland. Bradley Ray Gramlin. Jake Thomas Gray. Mason Lee Charles Green. Jesse Michael Haldeman. Bryce W. Hamilton. Brady Nathaniel Hargis. Robert Jeffrey Hassick. Tatum R. Hadabo. Austin Lee Holland. Carter Scott Hollowell. Jacob Ben Howard. Jonathan Isaiah Jonas. Matthew Eric Jones. Clayton Riley Kelly. Hayden Matthew Kinsler. Seth Lake. Caleb Wayne Likens. Jaden Mark Lyles. Wyatt Asher Madden. Memory K. Matthews. Jackson Paul McNeely. Hayden Cameron Moffitt. Keegan Gray Robert Mullins. Reagan Jolynn Noggle. Samuel Franklin Newman. Lucas Michael Knoll. Jaron Trevor Pankey. Austin G. Persinger. Lane Thomas Price. Carson Eli Pridgeon. Abigail Lila Robbins. Jackson Kent Robbins. Jade Elizabeth Schuler. Leah Page Scott. Kaylin Jane Shelton. Seth Craig Shelton. Jillian Morgan Smith. Alexander Green Sparkman. Colin Joseph Stout. Nathaniel Ray Tebolt. Courtney Lynn Todd. Mercedes Hope Vermillion. Reagan Elise Wade Swift. Madison Nicole Weir. Rocky Lee Wells. Cole Robert Whipker. Christopher Hunter Weininger. And Sarah Elizabeth Yoder.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to certify the class of 2020 as graduates of Salem High School. Congratulations.